Why am I playing Taylor Swift on a bass guitar that built the sound of the 80s? Because my new Spector Euro LX proves that great tone never goes out of style. It's an active electronics neck-through beast with EMG pickups, a TonePump preamp, and that signature Spector growl that defined rock in the 80s and early 90s. It's the same DNA as the basses behind Metallica, Queensrÿche, and Madonna, modernized for now. If you're new here, I'm Savage Fridays. I vlog about playing the bass, all the gear, and so much more. If that sounds interesting to you, be sure to subscribe so I know to keep making this content. All right, let's talk about how Spector shaped the sound of 80s rock and why their design still defines modern bass tone. Spector started in 1976 in Brooklyn, New York by a guy named Stuart Spector, who was a furniture designer turned guitar luthier. He wanted to make a bass that was ergonomic, something that actually fit the body and wasn't just a slab of wood with strings on it.
There are no strings on me.
Around that time, he teamed up with an industrial designer named Ned Steinberger. Yeah.
Oh yeah!
That Ned Steinberger, who later went on to start the Steinberger bass, the famous basses with no headstock, another iconic bass of the 1980s. Together, they designed the NS1 and then went on to design the NS2, NS for Ned Steinberger, which became the iconic model. What made it so special is the neck-through construction, the active EMG pickups, and that curved, contoured body. That's what she said. Those kinds of features give so much sustain, and the tone is really punchy, tight, and super articulate. It's perfect for cutting through all of those 1980s mixes. By the mid-80s, the Spector NS2 was everywhere, in use by bass players in Metallica, Queensrÿche, Sting with the Police, Madonna's touring and studio bands, and that famous slap version of Higher Ground played by none other than Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That bright, growling low end became part of the sound of the decade. Fast forward a few decades, and Spector's design really hasn't changed much. It didn't need to. But the story gets messy in the 90s. After dominating the 80s, Spector vanished for a while. Stuart Spector sold the brand to Kramer in the mid-80s. Not long after, Kramer went under. During that time, the NS2 design was still being manufactured, but was being done overseas under different names and licenses, and Stuart actually lost the rights to his own name for a while.
No.
You might see SSD or Stuart Spector design basses floating around, but it wasn't the original Spector that we think of today. In the late 90s, Stuart Spector finally got the rights to his name back.
Victory shall yet be mine.
And relaunched the Spector brand with the US NS series and the Czech-made Euro series, which carried that DNA forward to today. So that brings us to this, the evolution of that entire history to my new 2019 model, Spector Euro LX. All right, let's talk about some of the specs of this Euro LX bass in black satin. First of all, look at that black satin finish. As someone wrote in the comments on my last video, it's mean.
Why you always gotta be so mean to me?
So this is a 2019 Euro LX build. So this is one piece of wood on the body to and across the back of the neck. I like that. It gives a lot of sustain. My Rickenbacker also is a neck through. That may be it. I think the rest are bolt on, so it's nice to have another neck through in the family. The body is solid maple. Look at these wings. One continuous piece of wood from the headstock to the bridge. The fretboard is rosewood and has 24 frets. That's 2 octaves, you guys, from top to bottom. And this whole thing is sculpted. And look at the curvature of the body and how it goes up. It is concave. So when you put it up against your body, it feels nice. It does not feel like a plank of wood digging into my ribs. Appreciate you, Spector.
I love you.
This black satin finish is pretty subtle under the lights, but up close, you see that it's all business.
Lord business.
So for electronics, it's running these EMG pickups. There's a split coil precision style pickup. There's a single coil jazz pickup. That is a lot of tonality on one bass. I'm so excited to be back.
We're back! baby.
on a bass with all of these pickups. The first bass I ever had this setup, and I love the versatility in tone. These pickups are powered by Spector's TonePump preamp. Now let's talk about this preamp. This preamp is kind of a love it or hate it situation, and I noticed right away that I was distorting and blowing out with all of these knobs turned up. So if you've ever gone down the Spector rabbit hole on this preamp, you know what I'm talking about. Literally my first night with the bass, a couple takes in, and I noticed clipping in my interface and distortion, even though the input levels were pretty conservative. That led me right to the Reddit thread where every Euro LX owner seemed to be debating the existence of the TonePump preamp and saying the same thing. Many are recommending modding the bass to have an LHX preamp. Now, newer Euro LX basses have a Darkglass preamp. I bet that is pretty cool tone. Is it like taking the Anagram and just smushing it? I bet it's pretty cool, pretty glassy, and pretty strong. I'm not gonna upgrade this pickup right now. I'm gonna hold out with the TonePump and really get to a full understanding of what I'm working with this bass, spend some time, do some recordings, play some shows, and then I'll consider upgrading. I'm also about 5 comments deep on my last video with Cake Doge talking on whether I should upgrade, and he's making a very convincing case along with the Reddit threaders on what's going on with this bass. Let's talk about what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on.
The TonePump preamp does not have center detents, meaning this is really hot coming in the input. The TonePump is boost only, not boost and cut, so there's no flat setting at 0 where you can use your knobs to take it up or cut down. And therefore, it's just all up, and it's really easy to overdrive your signal, which I've done many times so far when I'm not being careful. Now, it's not all bad. The TonePump has a ton of character. It's aggressive. It's got growl. God. There's so much growl, and it gives you 80s sheen with 0 effort. You just have to be careful with inputs not having that center detent. Let's talk about these knobs. We have 4 knobs on the bass. This top one is volume for the P split coil. This is volume for your single coil, and the bottom left is bass boost, and the bottom right is treble boost. So yeah, you have to be a bit careful knowing that it's all boost on this bass with this preamp, and it means you have to do a little bit of gain staging, which is a way to offset some levels either using these knobs or through all the levels options coming into the computer interface. I get why people would mod this and get a center detent. That said, I'm gonna hold, rock the stock, and grow into that before I just start making willy-nilly decisions. There's a world of tone for me here to discover. Let's hear what this bass actually sounds like, from various 80s or 90s tones to modern stuff today. Okay, this next demo, I am running through the Darkglass Anagram on an Octaver preset. So to show you, I'm on split octave. There are lots of pedals in there. There's the hyperluminal. Here's the sublime Octaver. A gain. What do we got here? Some gentle compression, a pitch shifter, the gravitron, 6-band generic EQ, and I turned off reverb, no thanks. I'm gonna record some fingerstyle, then some pick, then the secret song. Here we go. you guys can guess this song, I'll Venmo you $1. The Guy Pratt factor on Madonna's Like a Prayer is so awe-inspiring. There are so many different fills on this song, and I can't wait to learn them now that I have the tools. So there you have it. That's Spector, a bass tone that helped define the 80s and is still holding its own in 2025. The tone is huge, the build is flawless, and that TonePump preamp, it's spicy.
Why is it spicy?
But I see why people want to change it. I think, honestly, I like it for now. Drop a comment below if you've tamed a TonePump preamp, or maybe you've swapped it for an LHC or a Darkglass. Let me know your setup. If you dug this mix of history, tone, and a little bit of demoing, be sure to subscribe so I can keep making videos like this. And tune in next Friday. We've got more bass and more gear. See you on the next one. Trying to get it to not reflect half the lights in my room. That's what gives ridiculous sustain and that Spector punch. The Spector mids punch. With the neck through 3-piece. Oh, geez, that's how you damage your neck.